Okay, welcome back. Part two of the How I Lost My Friend Group rant. Continuation. So where we left off in the last story was the fact that me and Renz are in the car together by ourselves after the birthday party. So we're sitting there talking. I like to be a one-on-one person. I like talking to people. That's just the type of person I am. I get a very deep level and shit like that. Anyways, so we talk, for a little bit about, life and birthday and how long our friendship came along. And I bring up Kyle and how he acted at dinner. And Renz also agreed with me that he was being low key an asshole about it, and that he was pretty much making me drive him around everywhere like I'm a fucking chauffeur. Mind you, this is the first time Kyle has ever started riding in my car with me. He usually takes his own car. Mind you, when he does take his own car, he complains. He's like, "Oh my god, I don't want to drive. Oh my god, I don't want to drive. Do I have to drive? Oh, I guess I'll drive." Mind you, it's just him in the car, okay? It's just him in the car. But whatever. It's fine. Anyways, fast forward, he agrees with me that Kyle was being low key an asshole. Plain and simple, he's being a dick. He was making it about himself. He wanted to go everywhere and anywhere. He was just being a dick. And it's Renz's birthday. It's his birthday. It should be about his celebration, not fucking Kyle's. But like I said, Kyle likes to make everything about him. So we talk about that. So be it. Now, fast forward, we're gonna go to March, right? Up until from December to March, everything is normal. Me and Renz are talking. Me, Renz, and my girlfriend are playing games together. We hang out with Emily sometimes. Like everything is normal. Everything is normal, right? And then one day, out of the blue, okay, mind you, the day before we just played with Renz, and we stayed up till like 2, 3 in the morning playing with him. Okay, the next day, me and my girlfriend text Renz like, "Hey, you want to play?" No response. Okay, Renz does that sometimes, so we're like, okay, fine, maybe he's busy today. Okay, not a problem. Next day, we text him again. "Hey, do you want to play?" Or "Hey, you want to do something?" No response again. We're like, okay, I guess he's busy. 2 weeks goes by. Okay, we're messaging him. From then on, we message him like a couple days apart, obviously. 2 weeks later, we message him again, like, "Yo," or I message him like, "Hey, is there something wrong? Is there something we need to talk about? You're not responding to anything I'm talking about." No response. So then I start texting Emily. I'm like, "Hey, give me a call whenever you give me a call whenever you can." Mind you, I call people. If I'm being honest, I'm one of those people. Yeah, I call people. And the reason why is because I'm usually driving by then, and it's easier for me to call than text while I'm driving. That's the only reason why. So I call Emily and I called Renz before I texted them on those following weeks. No response. Sent a voicemail. So then about 2 more weeks goes by. Okay. Well, at this time, a whole month has passed by and they aren't talking to us. Right. So this is February going into March. So we're like, okay, what the fuck? And the thing is, it's not only they're not responding to me, they're also not responding to my girlfriend. Mind you, my girlfriend did nothing wrong to them for them to do what they're doing. If we're being completely honest, she did nothing wrong. The only reason why they're doing that is because she's associated with me because she's dating me. So it gets to a point where we're like, okay, what the fuck? So I'm now sitting there and um oh, it's a late night, right? Me and my girlfriend are talking, and Emily finally, or I think Emily or Renz finally responds to my girlfriend, not me, to my girlfriend, being like, "Hey, we need to talk," or something like that, or something along, or like, or "Hey, sorry we haven't been talking. We're just trying to keep our distance," blah blah blah, or some shit along those lines, right? And when my girlfriend told me that, I got pissed. I got heated because I was like, "Bro, what the fuck? I've been texting you guys and calling you guys. You could have just said that to me directly instead of fucking tiptoeing and ghosting my ass." Instead, they ghosted me. So I got pissed. I started texting Renzo. I was like, "Listen, you got two fucking options." I told him straight up. I was like, "You got two options. Either it's the middle of the night, mind you. I'm like, either A, pull up to your fucking house and I keep honking, until your ass fucking comes out and talks to me, or you talk to me right fucking now. Those are your two options. You have till I think it was like 2 o'clock or like 1 o'clock to decide. They had 5 minutes to decide. I was like, you got till one before I start driving over there. I wasn't playing around, bro. I was not playing around whatsoever. So then he was like, all right, fine, we'll be on Discord. And he's like, all right, fine, fine, we'll get on Discord. And then I was like, okay, I don't want, like, okay, fine. He was like, fine, we can talk on text. And I was like, nah, fuck that. We're talking in person. We're talking on Discord. He's like, well, we don't know if you want to talk on Discord because the way you're acting right now and how agitated you are. I was like, nah, fuck that, bro. You either talk to me on Discord or I pull up. He's like, okay, okay, fine, 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 fine. Mind you, at the time, we didn't know this, but the reason why they didn't want to talk on Discord was because Kyle was being a little pussy. He didn't want to talk on Discord. Because Kyle was the whole lead runner of this. Okay? He was the reason why we got kicked. Keep that in mind. So he played this all out like this. So finally, we hop in our Discord server that we all have. They all trickle in one by one. Mind you, we had to wait an extra like 3-4 minutes before they finally came in. So they all get in. And then Renz responds with, okay, we're all here. Okay, we're here. Go ahead. And I'm like, go ahead. What do you mean go ahead? This isn't me talking to you guys. This is you explaining yourself. So I will say, go ahead. So they go. They send an entire text document, okay, about the problems and stipulations on the reason why they are doing what they're doing. I read this prompt, okay? I read this prompt. A lot of the shit on here are the most pettiest, dumbest fucking things I think I've ever read on a text prompt, right? I'll list some of them. Mind you, me and Renz have had problems in the past, okay? We've argued a lot about our differences and how we view things because Renz is a very, uh, I'm not sure how to word him as a person. He's a very soft toned, soft type of person. He's not very person. He's always he's very soft in everything he does. Okay, he's not very aggressive. That's not the word I would use. I would say more like upfront. He's very beat around the bush type of person. I'm a very upfront person. I tell you how it is and what it is. That's who I am. So I'm gonna try to remember because I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. But I'll try to remember some of them. The few that were on there were mainly about Ren's. Mind you, mind you, I've been friends with Ren's for about 8 years now, and me and my girlfriend would fight, obviously. So I would confide in him, and I confided in him twice, okay. And Ren's has been dealing with those type of things his entire life, where he has to help his friends get over things in relationships, and I completely understand that. That way, before I even decided to dump on him, I told him both times. I was like, "Hey, if you don't want to hear this, tell me right now. I'm not gonna hold it against you." And I told it to him in a very like serious tone. I'm like, "Bro, if you don't want to hear this and you don't want to deal with this, I understand that you're tired of dealing with this. If you don't want to deal with this, I will not hold this against you. I will never bring this up. Like this never happened. You do not have to do this. Please do not force yourself to do something you do not want to do." I told him that the 2 times I did talk to him about my relationship with my girlfriend and how we were having problems. I told him every single time because I want him to understand that this is a safe place. And if he doesn't want to hear it, he doesn't have to. And I will never hold that shit against him. He's been hearing this shit this whole life, pretty much. Of course, he's going to get tired of wanting to listen to it. I don't blame him. I don't. So that was on the text document. And I read it and I was like, Renz, did I not tell you multiple times, the 2 times I told you, if you did not want to hear this or even bother to listen to this, you were free to go. Did I not tell you that? Renz said yes. I was like, then why is this on here if we've talked about this? He's like, no response. He gave me no response. So I was like, okay, whatever. Next thing. It's another thing about Renz. Me and Renz used to have a problem because he didn't like the way I would talk about certain things. Mind you, Renz had a traumatic childhood. I also had a traumatic childhood. So I figured we bonded in that because we made fun of each other's traumatic childhood. Renz didn't like that anymore. Mind you, at the time, Renz would make fun of my childhood trauma, and it would be completely fine with it, regardless how I felt. But when I started doing the same thing, he decided to make it a big deal. So I said, fine. He told me, we talked about it. I was like, okay, no problem. I wouldn't talk about it anymore. Never talked about it again after we talked about it. That was on there. And I told him, I was like, Renz, we talked about this, did we not? Again, no response. I'm like, half of the things on here were about Renz. And I sat there and I was like, Renz, we talked about every single thing on this list. I don't understand why this is being brought up again. We talked about this. We made sure to talk about this. Why are you talking about this again? What is your reasoning? No response. Like, okay, not a problem. So then what else was on the list was the fact that me and my girlfriend seem quote unquote betrayed as the perfect couple. And we, I guess, because we never fought in front of them, or to be honest, I'm not really 100% sure what they meant because I still don't understand. But what it said was that you and Kylie act like the perfect couple. So I sat there and I asked, I was like, what are you guys even talking about? We act like the perfect couple because we don't argue with you guys, because we don't argue in front of you guys, or we try to act the exact same way before we started dating. And then my girlfriend followed up with the same question. Was like, yeah, just to let you guys know, that's our relationship. You guys have no business or no or reason to be in our relationship. It's our relationship. What did they do? No response. Neither of them responded. Mind you, it's Kyle, Emily, Jazz, and Renz in the call. No one responded. I was like, okay. So I was like, is this what we're so I said, is this what we're doing now? Where this is a single conversation where I'm saying something, my girlfriend's saying something, and you guys aren't responding? And Renz is like, well, we just don't exactly know what else to say to you for you to get it. And I sat there and I was like, this is a conversation. This isn't like a show and tell. We're trying to have a conversation with you guys and no one is saying anything. Silence. Again. Okay. So at this moment in time I realized, oh, I understand. They just want to make me look dumb. So I was like, all right, fine. No problem. You guys want to make me look dumb? Not a problem. I'll make sure that you guys understand that what you guys are doing, you guys are pieces of shits for. Right? Fast forward, there's another text prompt and it said reckless driving. And it's quoted to me. Now, the reason why Kyle put this, okay? Kyle put the relationship one and the reckless driving one. Kyle put reckless driving because on Renz's birthday, some guy cut me off. And when I mean he cut me off, I mean he cut me off. Like he dead ass was pretty like I want to say like 2 feet from hitting my car, and I honked at his ass the entire way through until he left or until I turned, and I said fuck you. That's what I did. Kyle didn't like that because again, he's a rich boy fed from a golden spoon. So he put that on there. And I asked, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about reckless driving? Kyle finally jumps in. He's like, yeah, you drive like a fucking maniac. Like, you drive like a maniac. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Who's the one that's been hitting curves and has gotten into an accident? Kyle has gotten into an accident and has also hit the curb. And I've never been in an accident or have hit a curb. So I asked him, I was like, tell me, who's the one that got into an accident / hit a curb? Me or you? Silence. I was like, exactly. You're calling me a reckless driver because some fucking dude cut me off and nearly hit my car. That guy was even close to hitting your car. What are you talking about? I was like, what am I talking about? Bro, this guy was right there. He was like, yeah, but it was unnecessary for you to honk. So what, you want me to just let this guy get off easy and not feel shitty about himself because he nearly hit my car that I recently just got? Yeah. No, fuck you. You're only saying that because you're not driving. But he insisted. So I was like, that's a stupid fucking reason. I told him straight, I was like, that's a dumbass reason. Last time I checked, every single one of you in this fucking group in this Discord has either A hit a curb, doesn't drive, or C has their car drive themselves. Emily has her car drive herself everywhere because she's too scared to drive. So I sat there and I was like, so tell me exactly how I'm the reckless driver when each and every one of you nearly has an accident under your guys' belt, whether it's hitting the curb or actually getting into an accident. Silence. I was like, exactly. That's what I fucking thought. Nothing. Because you know I'm speaking the fucking facts. Next thing is I can be very, I could be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Abrasive in a sense. And the example they used was when I asked for gas money. And I sat there and I was like, I'm sorry, but did I not say, and also quote Renz to be like, hey, I'm not trying to be mean or abrasive or anything in that way. I'm just saying you guys have been driving me around. I just need gas money. And I made sure I said that. I was like, did I not say that? And they were like, yeah, but it was just very like aggressive. I was like, yeah, but I just told you, I was telling you guys that I wasn't trying to be that way. Yeah, but it just was very aggressive, very aggressive. This is Emily talking. This is very aggressive. Like you just don't know how to convey your words properly, and it comes off very mean and aggressive and rude. And I was like, yeah, but I told you guys that I wasn't trying to be. So why are you guys still thinking that when I am honestly telling you that? Well, it's just because the way you said it. I was like, I understand that, but I'm telling you that that's not how I meant it. Well, that's how we took it. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. Whatever. There was a couple prompts that also targeted my girlfriend specifically, and it was very petty shit. And my girlfriend would ask a question, and every time my girlfriend would talk to them, they would just shun her. Just nothing, no response, nothing. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck, guys? We're trying to talk here. And every time she said something, they would actively choose to ignore her and pretend she just did not exist. So I was like, okay, so this is what we're doing. Another prompt on there was the fact that I make fun of gay people. Now, I will say that me and Ren's talk, I do joke about the gay community and I do make jokes about it. I will say that. I honestly do. Yes, I do. But I only do it because I'm allowed to because Ren's allowed me to. He always says he never did. But then every single time I asked, I was like, is it okay if I say this or that? He would say yes. So I'm not exactly sure why he constantly says that when in reality, he said he was fine with it. And I made sure with him before I even bothered to make said joke. But yet he still went out of his way to say that I didn't ask or it's not right or da 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 this. And I was like, but I'm okay. I was like, okay, I guess, whatever. And then finally, Jasmine talks. I met this girl twice in person, okay? Only twice. I met Kyle 4 times. Emily and Renz were the ones I met the most in person. I can't tell you how many times I met them in person, but a lot. But Jasmine, I met twice. She's the lesbian that denies that she's a lesbian. We went to her house one day. That was the first, I think, the second time I met her. And quote unquote, I made a gay joke in her thing. She awkwardly laughed and felt like she was walking on eggshells after said thing or joke or something. Now, mind you, I remember pretty much most of the things I say or do. And I sat there and I recalled at that moment when she said it, and I was like, no, I didn't. What I told her was that, like, I think I made one, but I don't think it was towards you. I'm pretty sure it was towards Ren's. And she was like, well, I took offense to it. And then I thought, and then like a couple, and then a couple little bits later, I'm like, wait a minute. I said no lesbian joke towards you, Jasmine, or Kyle, because Kyle was also adding to it that I make jokes about him also. I'm like, that's a fucking lie. But I was like, I don't think I ever even made a gay joke when I was over there because we sat in the balcony, and I think the thing I said was something about Asians because they were talking about Asians, and I said something about Asians, and Jasmine looked at me funky and was like, and I was like, the fuck, bro. And again, I can't remember exactly what it was about Asians that I said, but I promise you it wasn't anything offensive or like anything that was like, oh, what the fuck kind of thing. Um, but yeah, she said that as a point, and she was like, I felt like I had to walk on eggshells around you. And every time you texted, I just declined because I didn't want to be anywhere near you. And I sat there and I was like, so let me get this straight. Since that time that we met, which was a very long time ago, you actively chose to avoid me and not talk to me instead of confronting me about it and talking to me about it. And her response was, I mean, yeah, I feel I'm walking on eggshells around you. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to, like, I don't know. I was scared. I was like, scared? What are you talking about, scared? Jasmine, we talked twice, 3 times at most. You're telling me after our few conversations, you're scared and walking on eggshells around me? The few times you've met me, you're scared and walking on eggshells around me, Jasmine? And I was like, you're a fucking child. I told her straight up. I was like, you're a fucking child. I don't think I said that entirely, but in my head, I was thinking, I was like, this fucking person's a kid. And I said there, I was like, Jasmine, you cannot be serious. I only talked to you a couple times. How can you have that point or like viewpoint on me? And she said, I just did. And I was like, can you elaborate more? She was like, and mind you, while she was talking about it and saying she was walking on eggshells, she was shedding crocodile tears. In case no one knows what crocodile tears is, it's pretty much where a person's trying to cry, but nothing's coming out. In a sense, crocodile tears. It's because crocodiles technically can't cry, it's always dry. They just have the face. I couldn't see the face, but she wasn't crying for real. It was a bullshit cry. And I knew she was BS crying. And mind you, she probably used that against Renz and all them, and they're very like, "Oh my god, no, don't worry. We're gonna stop the guy. We're gonna stop the bad guy. We're not gonna talk to him anymore." Kind of move. And I didn't buy it. I was like, "She's fake crying." I told my girlfriend. I would mute on Discord and be like, "She's fucking fake crying. She's full of shit," and then unmute. And then it was so bad to the point where there was a point on there that Renz made where we dead ass started joking midway. Like we're over there kidding around, fucking around, joking while having this quote unquote serious talk. Okay? They have all these allegations and all these things, and I've debunked every single one of them and said things. They don't acknowledge it, obviously. And then in the middle of it, me and Renza are joking like we would if we were, like we were friends. We were just fucking around, messing around, joking. And then it finally got to the point where it was like, I was like, okay, I understand what's happening here. And I said this, I was like, you guys can do what you want with this information. I was like, I'm sorry if I offended any of you guys. I was never trying to do anything like that. At the end, I still apologized for what I did, regardless whether the fact of whether they were wrong or right. I still apologized. And I was like, I'm sorry that I made you guys feel that way. That wasn't my intention. I wasn't trying to do anything of the sorts. And I understand what's going to happen here. You guys probably won't ever talk to me again, and this is it. But just know I don't regret anything I did. And I don't regret the friendships I did at all. And I was like, it was nice. I said a little nice couple things to Emily and Renz. I didn't say shit about college, Jasmine. I said, in a sense, I pretty much was like, fuck you, fuck off kind of thing. Where I was like, yeah, have a good life. Go fuck yourself. And then I told Renz and Emily, I was like, hey, man, it was great being friends with you guys. And I understand what you guys are going to do moving forward because I know what type of people you are. At that moment in time, I was like, oh, I realized what's happening. They're doing what they did to me with Catherine. Instead, they're actually giving me a hearing. And in a sense, it was exactly that. And my girlfriend stayed a little bit. And mind you, while I was saying my goodbyes, none of them said anything to me. I mean, nothing. I was pretty much by myself in that point. I was It was literally just me talking to myself, to my girlfriend, in a sense. And I want to say like 10, 15 minutes later, they send me a goodbye text. Kyle, Renz, and Emily do. Jasmine doesn't. She can go fuck herself, if I'm being completely honest. I also don't like Jasmine because the way she acted and how much of a child she is. And mind you, Kyle's was very backhanded as an apology. Same with Emily's. Emily's was very backhanded as well. Um, and when I mean backhanded, I mean like, yeah, it was just very backhanded. Emily's was more backhanded towards the middle and end. In the beginning, she was being genuine, and then towards the middle and end, it was very just backhanded, just like, yeah, this is it, kind of thing. Like, I don't like you. I'm gonna believe everything they said, despite the fact that what you said was also very true. Very backhanded. Mind you, I helped that girl when she was crying and panicking about Catherine, and because she never got used to that, and I let her stay in my house, and I let her, I bought stuff, and I did things for her like she was like a little sibling, you know. Yet she gave me a very cold response in the end. And as far as Renz goes, Renz was the only one that had any heart into it. He genuinely meant every single word he said, and I will confidently tell you that Renz had meant no harm in this. He probably didn't even want this to end how it ended, if I'm being completely honest with you. He didn't think it was going to end the way he did. I mean, even in his text, he was like, I didn't think it was going to end like this. I thought, he was like, I just thought it was going to be different. I thought it was going to end differently. Because even Renz didn't want to do that. That's probably the reason why he didn't want to even get on call at the time, because he knew how he had probably a thought on how it would have ended at that time. But I will say, out of everybody in that story, Renz was probably the most genuine, heartfelt person in that text when it was towards me and my girlfriend, mind you. Kyle, Renz, and Emily also sent texts to my girlfriend, and I didn't read them, obviously. I think she told me them. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. Um, but yeah, they were Renz's was very heartfelt and very like genuine. It was real, you know. It was a very real story to tell, and I genuinely did appreciate it because I mean we've been through a lot together. We were through high school and everything, so I was his one consistent friend that always had his back. So it was very sad for him. It was a very sad time because in the text he was, because I used to tell him, I was like, everybody leaves me, whether they're friends, family, etc. I'm always left behind. And in the text, Renz wrote, I'm sorry that I have to prove you right by leaving you. And I think at that moment in time when he was writing it, he felt hurt because Renz was the one person that said, I'm not leaving. I'm going to stay there and I'm going to be your friend and I'll make sure to. But in the end, it was just the same like every single other person. And I felt bad. I did. I genuinely felt bad for Renz in the position because I knew Renz didn't want to. And unfortunately, Renz and Emily are followers and they don't want to speak up for themselves. So they just let Kyle and Jazz take the reign, mainly Kyle. And that's what I'm thinking of what happened with Catherine now, why they didn't give Catherine a chance to actually state her case. It's very, very sad to do, I will say. I feel bad about it. So yeah. But yeah, after that we they sent their texts. I didn't send them a text because I said everything I said in Discord, and I was like, thanks. I told Renzo, I was like, thank you for everything. Have a good life. Little hand heart emoji. And at the time when I texted Emily, I felt like she was actually being genuine. She wasn't. So I also said, I was like, thanks to the sis or whatever the fuck. Anyways, so yeah, that's the story of it. That's it. That's how I lost my friend group. If you enjoyed, any comments or questions you have about it, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.